What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today we'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy B with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So my goal for today is to show you guys what the market participants are doing and where they're most likely going to take the price to next. So let's take a look at MicroStrategy on the daily chart. Today is a slight gain. We still have about 45 minutes left in the market, but most likely it was going to close neutral or slightly up for the day, just based on how the trend is going for today. Not a lot of buying, not a lot of selling going on right around this 260 level. As you can see in the price action is kind of quiet right now. It looks like we could be waiting for another big move in the future, some sort of catalyst to take place. So let's go over the technicals again. We have a measure move target met, one leg down right here, second leg down. Sometimes these aren't always a permanent bottom, but a lot of times they act as temporary bottoms. So right now it's acting as a temporary bottom. We haven't really seen any strong buying off this level just yet. And with that being said, we still have to go over the bearish side of the story, which is a horizontal level that was prior support that has turned to resistance, as you can see right back over here on March 6th. And now we have been having a downward trend line as well, showing aggressive selling pressure in the marketplace. So again, looks like we have a downward trend line in play. We have a horizontal level in play. Price above the EMA. We're not seeing aggressive buying, but again, at the same time, we're not seeing aggressive selling. So again, not a lot of demand going off of this level as of right now. Maybe in the future, but not a lot of demand off of this level. So let's just envision or visualize this is like a fish market or any type of market. So let's say the fish at one point was overpriced. As you can see on the price chart, it looks like the fish cost a lot more than it usually does before. So then a lot of people stop buying, right? So there's a lot of supply, and then the demand is dropping. Is at the 534 for one, let's say one tuna. The fish was at 534, 537. And then, the price starts going back down. Some people buy because they need it still, but most people don't, so they hold. And then, price goes up more because they like this level, but it's just still kind of too high. It looks like there's still a lot of supply coming in the marketplace. And eventually it reaches a point where people are happy with the price they're paying for it. And look, you see that, the market's kind of balanced right now. It's not really too much supply and also not too much demand in the market either. So they're kind of like canceling each other out. So, this is the same thing for MicroStrategy shares, right? People are buying and selling based on price. Do they like this price or not? It looks like market participants, as of right now, don't really like it that much. Well, aggressive buyers don't really like it that much. Maybe they want it at lower prices. Some people are like, okay, I have a limit order at lower prices. Maybe they have a limit order here that will trigger a buy. Maybe they have a limit order here that will trigger a buy. Some people are buying right now. So it's just a whole marketplace if you think about it, in terms of any other product, right? If it confuses a lot of people if you just use stock, but if you just convert it to like an iPhone price, right, or a shoe price, are you going to really pay for a shoe when it got up this quickly, that fast? Probably not. So it's the same thing in the real world for stocks. Same thing for MicroStrategy shares. Is this a place that aggressive buyers are wanting to drive up the price? It's a possible target, but we haven't seen that yet. As right now, price has not been moving up higher. So again, it's kind of neutral. Most likely will close neutral or slightly up for the day. Not a big deal. Not much has changed. Kind of a quiet week overall. One more day left in the marketplace. And we need to see a strong break above this trend line and horizontal level for me to be really bullish in the short term. Obviously, I'm bullish long term and on the fundamentals, but it's just a short term that obviously the bears have control of. So let's take a look at if we copy the bar. So let's say we do something like this. So again, I want to see a nice pop up right through the trend line and the horizontal level, maybe something like that. Just a nice rocket above. That would be one situation that would be bullish. Another situation would be maybe a slow grind up like we did before and then, faster. That would be another bullish situation. Either way, we need to clear above the 320 level, 320, 315. I think once we clear it decisively, then it's probably game over and most likely we'll see higher prices. I don't expect the trend to just fail again at that point. So that's what I see on the daily chart. I want to go over Bitcoin Treasuries tracker. MicroStrategy obviously still in the lead. This is basically like the leaderboard for any company that has Bitcoin on their balance sheet. You can see that MicroStrategy is leading, almost 500,000 Bitcoin. That's 2.377% of the total 21 million supply that will ever exist. And the next best one is Mara Holdings at 46,000. But again, these are mining companies: Mara, Riot, CleanSpark, Hut 8. They don't perform as well as a company that just buys Bitcoin, issuing equity or debt. Why? Because of their margins. They're very tight. Bitcoin mining is a very cutthroat environment. And also, they have to continue to upgrade their equipment. Their profit gets halved every 4 years. So again, they're not going to be, they're more like a trending type of stock, or excuse me, a range bound type of stock. MicroStrategy is more of a trending type of stock. Same thing as Coinbase. These are trending type of stocks, meaning they're not going to be stuck between like two price levels for a long time. Generally, they continue to go from the left side of the chart to the upper right side of the chart. So obviously, MicroStrategy in the lead. And like I said yesterday before, we went over Rumble. Rumble bought 188 Bitcoin and added to the balance sheet. And now it's a new it's on the list of Bitcoin treasuries. It's on like the top, looks like 30 companies, and we have a couple other new companies added as well. Meta Planet is also a fast growing Bitcoin treasury company, as you can see here. They just bought more yesterday, added 162, and again, they're doing very well. So just a small little company already owns 3,000 Bitcoin. So in the future, I think the strength of the balance sheet will be based on how much Bitcoin is acquired. It's not going to be on cash or US dollars. It's going to be on, oh, how much Bitcoin do you hold? That's how I believe personally companies are going to be looked at in the future in terms of strength of balance sheet. It's going to be on how much Bitcoin you hold. And, these companies, all these companies right here, all these public companies, generally they don't buy and sell. They're not really a trading type of company, right? They're not a hedge fund. They're not, traders. They're generally going to buy and hold for a long time. So most likely, if they buy the supply, it's going to be locked for, I would say, at least 4 years, most likely even longer, possibly even forever. So I don't think MicroStrategy is going to be selling their Bitcoin anytime soon. Do I believe they ever will? I think so. Maybe a little bit in the future. But as of right now, I don't think so. I think they're in the accumulation phase. But eventually, these companies might sell, but overall, in the long term, they don't really sell their Bitcoin. So these are off of the market as of right now until something happens. And then also, you can see how we have these new metrics that weren't here, decades ago, right? MNAV, market cap, Bitcoin holdings as percentage of market cap, total supply of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin holdings as a percentage of total Bitcoin supply. So these are probably going to be the new metrics stocks are going to be looked at in the future instead of like PE ratios and all those other ones. Most likely they're going to be valued in terms of these Bitcoin metrics instead of dollar metrics and stuff like that. So I think this is just going to be the new metrics going forward to look at for companies. So let's go back to MicroStrategy on the weekly chart, looking at the log scale. And again, the wicks looks very strong right now. See the candle wicks. Um, Price has been, tapping this like 240 level for a while now. So we had a wick here, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure. This shows rejection off of the 240 level. When you have a wick that comes down to a level, and then when you have a candle coming down to a level and it closes higher than where it came down to, you get a wick of the candle or like a shadow. So we have 1, 2, 3 wicks, and that shows nice rejection off the level. So same thing right here. You see those wicks right over here, wicks over here, another wick right here. These are generally at bottoming areas. So there's wicks right here. It just shows buying pressure. A lot of times you'll see big candles at reversal points. So we have 1, 2 big candles, 1, 2 big candles, and then you have some wicks over here. That was at the bottom of the swing. You have a couple more wicks at the bottom of the swing, more wicks right here, big candles. You have another wick right here. Led to buying pressure, wick right here, big green candles, big red candles. And now you have a wick right here that led to a little bit of push up higher. Now we have more wicks of the candles. So this shows, some sort of strength, but again, it's going to be heavily based on Bitcoin, obviously. Not 100% correlated, but mostly correlated. And let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. Finish the video off, Coinbase Exchange. And also, we're starting to see a little bit of wick price action on Bitcoin as well. again, if Bitcoin cannot get a green candle soon, then this may just crash down lower. So what I mean is that we're getting a more aggressive or steeper. See, this was the first angle of attack by the bears. Then now we're in the second angle, and we might go down to maybe one final third angle, quick drop, maybe towards the low $71,000 level, the low $70,000 level, and then maybe a V bottom reversal from there. So let maybe a quick drop to the low 70s, and then a recovery from there. So again, it looks like Bitcoin wants to drop down lower, maybe one last time, and then we'll go from there. So I don't think we have topped. Um, for Bitcoin or MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is definitely holding up much better than Bitcoin. As you can see here, it's more of a green day instead of a red day like Bitcoin, but we'll see how it lasts long term. As right now, we are at the second bullish trend line. So we have one trend line right here. And now we're at the second bullish trend line, currently right at it, and it's holding nicely. But we need to see strong buying off of that level. It's okay if we break it slightly or briefly. It's not a big deal. If we reach the other measure move target that I had, I think it was this one right over here. This is all one large leg right over here. You drag this down. Second leg on the log scale, somewhere around the 212. So maybe a final drop for Bitcoin or MicroStrategy towards the lower measure move target, and then maybe a rally from there. Or MicroStrategy continues to be divergent and rally without Bitcoin. Why would it do that? Because generally when a stock is overextended, so like for example, this right here marked the top for Bitcoin way before Bitcoin topped. Um, Same thing can happen in reverse. We were overextended. You sold off. Generally, the stock that's more sold off or beaten down is more likely to go up first because it was so beaten down. So that's the same thing that can happen for MicroStrategy. It was more beaten down in terms of Bitcoin. Plus, it's more sensitive to market fluctuations in liquidity. So it's just a more sensitive thing. It's like a feather in the wind versus like a brick in the wind. Which one do you think is going to be, moving around in the wind more? It's going to be MicroStrategy because it's more like a feather, and then a brick would be obviously like a much larger company or something like that, or let's just say whatever's stiffer than a feather. You could say like a piece of paper, or a piece of cardboard. That might be a better example. So MicroStrategy would be like a feather in the wind. Bitcoin would be like a cardboard in the wind. So it's going to be more sensitive to market fluctuations and liquidity and fear and greed, emotions, and all that stuff. So again, this could be signaling a potential reversal for Bitcoin in the near term. So all that from MicroStrategy on the daily and weekly charts. If you guys have any comments, please let me down below. Any questions, I'll try to answer them. And I'll probably give you guys a video tomorrow. This is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.